mantle of light and love about the shoulders of each one of you. May it be sustained there as long as you require it, for your strength, joy, and the release of all that is required for your happiness and comfort, to assist you to your certain victory. I thank you. Beloved children of America, how wondrous has been the change since our first humble efforts to give assistance to the people of Europe. Our assistance has also spread to America. In all loving kindness, I wish to mention just two things. In the endeavor of Morya and myself to bring to the world the truth that there was no death, mankind has been unwilling to give the obedience required, and because of their disobedience, turned the wonderful understanding we brought forth into the present activity of spiritualism. In our endeavor to assist and bring forth through Theosophy the glory and right understanding of life, up to the time when we could have brought forth this truth, still again humanity would not give sufficient obedience. Why will not mankind, precious mankind, give obedience to the law of life, love each other, so that it makes it possible for the great truth to come forth untouched, unadulterated by human opinions? Yet, we are so grateful to every blessed, earnest Theosophist and every other blessed one in America. 316. For all the service each one has rendered. Beloved ones, for more than 600 years the great ascended masters have tried to open the way for this greater understanding to come to mankind, but no sooner did this mighty truth begin to expand its light, than individuals with human opinions seized upon it and tried to make it obey them, instead of obeying it. We were not then ascended, but today, that great, magnificent brother of light, our beloved Saint Germain, has had the courage and strength to bring forth this mighty I am instruction to free all mankind. Some day, when you know a little more of what he went through to win his victory and ascension, you will understand why he has had the magnificent power, strength, and wisdom to do what no other one has ever been able to do. I have not asked his permission to tell you this which I shall say to you, so I shall take advantage, lest he cut it off. I trust he will not be listening. But, beloved ones, I say to you as one who knows, never in all eternity can mankind pour forth enough gratitude to Saint Germain for this victory of the light. I have long waited this opportunity, and as he is busy elsewhere this afternoon, he will discover it later, of course, but I must say that of which my heart is so full. Our gratitude to him for that victory is boundless and eternal. Blessed ones, only as the years pass will you come more and more fully to understand what this means to mankind. We feel so greatly encouraged. The Goddess of Liberty has set into action a certain power through the currents of the atmosphere. Through it we feel so hopeful of quickly drawing enough of the attention of mankind to the mighty I Am Presence, to quickly accomplish all that is required. Will you not rejoice with us? With all the great calm earnestness of your being, call the mighty I Am Presence, to project its currents into the atmosphere and into the mental and feeling world of mankind, to awaken humanity to this great truth. Then the moment they touch it, they will be ready to know it is their own life. Through the transcriptions, the radio broadcasting is doing a work so magnificent. I wish to take this opportunity of thanking the students everywhere. I thank every beloved one for the magnificent manner in which they have made possible so much of the radio work. How blessed they are to be willing to do this and render this service for mankind, for the need is so great. The time is so short, and this makes it possible to reach enough of mankind to hold the balance. You cannot quite understand just what those words mean. Do you realize that it means the balance of the whole earth, dear people? If America cannot call this balance into action, then balance everywhere is lost. To the earth. I do not mean that anyone should feel unduly responsible, but you can, with a joyous and happy feeling in your heart, make the necessary call, not only to your presence, but call the presence to reach its hands out, touch the hearts of mankind and awaken them everywhere, that they may come into this light and the understanding of their mighty I Am Presence, for it is the only means of bringing the release which will hold the balance for the people. There is no stabilization, there is no means of holding the balance without it. In those early years when we were just feeling our way among mankind, will I ever forget those letters I received from England and various parts of Europe? Humanity telling us what we should do, where we had made our mistakes and how to correct them. It is wonderful, is it not, to be able to calmly and serenely wait, to abide the time when the great cosmic light and law will come to the assistance of the mass, and bring in its train the mighty victory of the light? You have often been prompted and told what the expression of the words, I am, means, and how it is the release of infinite power at your point in the universe. I remind you today that your mighty I am presence is light. When you call the power of light, which is life, into action, then you have entered into the greatest stream of purifying, perfecting activity in the universe. How can mankind expect to be freed from its discord without this great light? You will pardon me for this crude expression. If you were to find a pond in which much of the water was out, and you walked through that and became covered with mud, would you feel clean? In the mass of human creation and that which you know as the psychic world, which is the same as the astral world, you begin to understand how mankind is moving through a mass of very unhappy creation. If you do not understand how to call the presence to hold its invincible tube of light about you, then it is very much like walking through that pond, and your garments will become bedraggled. Do you not see it? In mankind's activities there are certain conditions which must be fulfilled. Saint Germain and the messengers, with infinite patience, have pled with mankind and told them the necessity, the need of the hour. I rejoice so tremendously today. While there is still room for more, yet the improvement has been so great, that I want you to feel great encouragement, every one of you. If you have slipped once in a while, then take a firmer hold and go on. Call on the law of forgiveness and do not look back. Oh, do not ever look back. You all know of the lady who took on too much solidity by looking back. So, let us not be caught in that place. Now, beloved ones, rejoice with me, for I tell you that through certain mighty air currents, this tremendous understanding is reaching into India with a speed that is astonishing. You do not quite understand that here as they do in India. There are hundreds of thousands of people in India today who understand how to use those air currents and how to contact them, and they are doing it. When the great Himalaya in your city, I believe it was in Pasadena, gave his mighty dictation, from that hour to this these currents of energy from this work have gone forth, to India particularly. That is why I am here today. I say these things to you so you may realize, beloved ones, that it is not just your immediate environment that is being blessed by your call to the presence, but your call is releasing its far-reaching powers. You have been told a number of times that it is reaching into the mental and feeling world of mankind, but do you realize how far? Do you realize it is the most natural, magnificent thing in the world? All is the presence and activity of your life. You are a part of the one great life. True, you are individualized, but still you are a part of that one great life. And to the degree that you keep harmonious, do you bless and add to the freedom of the world. To the degree that you are out of harmony, do you add to the downpull of mankind into greater chains. Beloved ones, to see unhappy individuals who try to spread discord among humanity is the most pitiful thing in all the whole world that we are compelled to look upon. Those individuals do not understand that their viciousness is their own destruction. All reason is gone, because they have become so enmeshed in their viciousness. They think only of destruction and feel only that. The pity is that they must meet and reap it all, but it cannot affect blessed mankind. It does not. A few individuals who might be temporarily disturbed, soon right themselves and go on in the light. Dear people, it is not a matter of human personalities. It is not a matter of individualities. It is not a matter of the requirement of human conditions, but the light has said, I shall take command of my own. Look at your bodies. Look at this floor upon which you move. Look upon the earth upon which these buildings rest. All belongs to God. All belongs to that light. Mankind are custodians of certain substance, certain activity, certain requirements. If they do not fulfill their trust and responsibility, no law in heaven or earth can prevent their reaping the consequences of the misuse of that life and energy which flows through them. You are not responsible for anything else, except what flows through you. Do you realize, beloved ones, what is in this light which flows through your human form? I am speaking now without your call. That life contains all good things. Then, to think that the ignorance and Unwilling obedience of mankind is permitted to go on and on and on so long, imposing discord upon that perfect light which would, of its own volition, make them perfect and hold in the body beauty of form and its perfection. Yet, because of unwilling obedience, they do not have it. When we look into the faces of the beloved students of the I Am who have come under Saint Germain's radiation, we see such a transformation in those bodies, in those faces, in the atmosphere of their feeling world around them, that words fail utterly to convey to you our rejoicing at your victory. Do you realize, beloved ones, what it means to us, to Morya and myself, we two who were so earnest, so sincere? Yet, our beloved Saint Germain has accomplished more in 3 years than we did in the many years of our humble efforts. I want you to know this so you give him all the gratitude of your hearts. You do not yet quite know him as we do, but it will not be long now, as you often say. You know I must necessarily be very familiar with your terminology because of many letters I received in those years of my humble efforts. We have had much happiness. Sometimes, before our ascension, we had heavy hearts at mankind's unwillingness to still the human intellect until the light within the heart released true understanding. There is no failure in any sincere effort, and every one of you should feel that with great gratitude. Every single sincere effort which you make must bring its great reward in the victory of the light. I rejoice, and you will, I am sure, with me, in these words. From the time the great goddess of liberty chose to take a part in this freedom for mankind, the atmosphere of earth has rapidly been taking on her transformation and activity. Her powers are beyond description. I shall never forget the night in Philadelphia when she announced herself as the one who gave Washington that vision. I shall never forget the messenger's feeling, for he had long wanted to know. Beloved ones, when a great being like she is, comes forth and gives continuous assistance, then surely mankind should be willing to do everything within their power to cooperate with and give the assistance necessary, to enable the great ones to do for them what they cannot do for themselves. Did you ever think of that? Do you really? Do you understand what it means, beloved ones today, for great beings of freedom to come forth willingly, to give you the assistance and do for you what you cannot do for yourselves? It only requires harmony in your feelings and your call to your source of life, to enable them to give assistance which you cannot gain by yourself. It is a magnificent thing. Words fail utterly to convey it. You must just accept it in your feeling. No. Words are capable of conveying what it means, but you are the beneficiaries of this magnificent blessing. Just think, dear people, all that is asked of you is to harmonize yourselves, make your earnest, determined call and keep it up. Not a single thing in the world can stand any longer between you and your presence. The light knows no opposition. It just flows into your world, and that is the end of human creation. It is so easy. Only because mankind has not quite felt the seriousness of inflexible obedience individually, they think, oh well, I can let go of this feeling now, then I will call on the law of forgiveness and get by. I would suggest you never do such a thing anymore. Do not make that mistake. We love you, oh, you cannot imagine how much, but I say to you, and I use your terminology again, do not kid yourselves. I mean that very seriously. You have all authority, ability, and power to keep yourselves harmonized and allow this great infinite power of light to flow forth and do its perfect work for you. If you will not do it, then you can blame no one but yourselves. With the opening of this coming shrine class, you will find a new world opening before you. The cosmic radiance is reaching a certain point of activity where every sincere individual who has been making his call will begin to find a response that he has not known heretofore. I ask you to watch it in your individual lives. These things are mighty. You are dealing with the great laws of life, beloved ones. It is not human opinion. It is no one's imagination. You are dealing with definite laws, and do not forget it. To the degree that you obey them, will you find everything which has been disturbing you quickly dissolving and disappearing from your world. There are hundreds and thousands of the blessed I Am students in America today, who will soon begin to experience this with such definiteness and power that there will no longer be any question. When you begin to feel this, feel your dominion, feel more and more humble each day. Then as you gain strength, power, and energy in the release through the call to your presence, you will pour forth such a power of freedom and blessing to your fellow man, your environment, and your associates, as you never did before. Today, as we were looking over your city and seeing what was required for the coming class, our hearts, oh, how our hearts rejoiced. There were great streams of light and energy going up from hundreds of individuals in your city and environment. For your great earnestness, we just stopped and gave praise and thanks to the source of all life that it is possible today for mankind to be so awakened, to be so earnest in this call that it is tangible and visible to us. With some of you who have had moments when you wondered how much your progress had been, if you had seen it, I am sure nothing could hold you here long. It is a remarkable thing how, in the great law of life, mankind must reach a certain state of advancement, in other words, a certain state in the expansion of their own light, or, as I prefer to put it, a certain attitude of radiation, when like that all of the lower element just like a curtain draws back. Then, you enter into the glory which is the real you. You are so magnificent. These garments which you wear do not always have such perfect appearance, I mean the garments of flesh. But still, you, the reality, are so beautiful, so perfect. Oh, you are standing so much nearer to that perfection today than a single one of you in this room realizes. Oh, may my words be strength, encouragement, and great courage to you to go on, until the complete victory is sure. Then when you look back upon the achievement and find all which has held and bound you is dissolved from your world, what a rejoicing! In all the world there is nothing so magnificent. Today, as we are here in this room, everyone is lifted above the human consciousness, for human consciousness is the only place in which imperfection exists. If you but realized it and determined to stay there, oh yes, you would move around in your human forms. Quite naturally, but the difference in your feeling world would be amazing. You know when you suddenly place a thermometer where there is heat, how it goes up and down. That is the way with the consciousness and vibratory action of mankind. Today in this radiance you are raised. Will you please take advantage of the opportunity and determine to stand in it and remain there? You can do it. You can positively do it. Then, as you gain one step after another, all of a sudden you will see the glory you truly are. You have seen the top of the mountain through the fog. Just like that you will stand head and shoulders above all human creation. When you really see the glory which you really are, nothing will stop you again. You will go forward in the mighty victory of light. Today, in the fullness of this light, in the fullness of its radiant power flooding your being and world. Be calm, be firm, be more determined than ever, with a great calm serenity, to release from your presence all that is required to give you the complete victory. For it is your presence which does it. Please do not forget this for one single moment. It is your presence which accomplishes the victory. You stand calm and serene in your call. Is it not so little to do? To enter into your own world of freedom after so many centuries of limitations. Yet it is coming. It is so great, so marvelous. I want to say something very encouraging to the people of California. Possibly Saint Germain may decide to make you more aware of it during the shrine class, but even then, I want you to know today how much the freedom of America, the protection of America has been held by your wondrous application here. The people of California have made it possible for much to be done which otherwise would have been impossible, financially and otherwise. I want you to know of the great service which you are rendering. It is very wonderful indeed. Ere long in the cities of the East there will come this same great awakening in numbers. You are so ready and so willing. It is marvelous indeed. Beloved ones, in our heart-to-heart talk today, I want you to know how deep is the gratitude in my heart to you, and how deep is the gratitude in my heart to the great God Himalaya for opening the air channels of the earth. Someday we shall tell you more about this. It is magnificent. You are coming to understand the things that heretofore have been considered unusual. Yet, I say to you, there is not one thing in all the wide world unusual. All is an activity of your life. All is an activity of the law of life, therefore, life compels it to be natural. Do you not see this? In mankind's partial understanding, things were made mystical, and it caused the people to feel far away, instead of entering into the glory of that which was their own life. Try to feel more and more each day how practical all of this great law of life is, and how it is you. You may have the fullness of its understanding and operation if you will. Just keep on calling and reaching out. Steadily and surely, just like a warm breath, there will come into your consciousness one thing after another in courage, strength, and confidence. Knowing the great need today, I tell you it is not possible to be deprived of it. It is yours. It is your life which is acting. How could you be deprived of it? In the glory of this infinite power of action, I want you to feel that you have entered into the greatest law in the universe, the law of your own life and its mighty activity, which every human being can use at his own point in the universe, wherever you care to be. Beloved ones, I know how you feel many times, but whatever your service is, keep pouring forth this great radiance from your presence, calling it forth into action to bless your environment, your associates, your conditions, and those about you. Oh, it is such an opportunity for service. You cannot possibly know yet how great a blessing that will carry forward to many in your environment. Do you know that every one of you can make yourself such a blazing sun of light wherever you move, that the radiance from your presence will go forth with tremendous power to bless those about you? Will you just do that and feel the great joy of it? Joy is the great motor of life, and in it are all possibilities. You can generate limitless joy, because your presence and the life which beats your heart is the fullness of that joy. It is not something you have to pull out from somewhere. It is right there within you, ready to expand itself, and your attention to the mighty I Am presence automatically causes it to flow forth with greater and greater volume, power, and intensity. Therefore, in the glory of the light which is your life, be happy. Be willing to give it the obedience required to set you free. You all know the need of using the tube of light and the violet consuming flame. As you continue to use it, the infinite power of your presence will do all that is required and set you free. Keep at it with greater and greater determination. Refuse to accept any moment of doubt or question of your ability to call your presence into action. I say today to some who have had difficulty in their application, yield not an inch to any discordant appearance. It does not matter whether there is pain in your body or not, if it be there, then it does not belong to you. Be firm. Be determined in dismissing it. It is only the atomic structure through your feeling world which feels it. You have all power in the call to your presence to stop it. In your moments of stillness, call the presence to dissolve cause, effect, and record of it, then no longer will you be troubled by it. Today you are in the position that when you get rid of a thing, you can erase its record. Then, never again let it touch your world. That is your great privilege. Utilize it, beloved ones, in its fullness. I feel the great strength in every one of you and know that you are going forward quickly into the fullness of your victory, every one of you. I thank you for this opportunity today to speak my heart to yours, and to let you know that I rejoice with you in the sure and steady victory you are winning. Blessed people of California, you have made it possible for this light to be carried to the rest of America. It is magnificent. It is marvelous. In the fullness of the infinite power of light, the glory of God, the mighty I Am presence, I call its almighty power into action to enfold you in its infinite protection, direct you by its mighty intelligence, cause all human mistakes and discord to cease at once in and from your world forever. To set you free and to give you such courage and confidence in your call, in your application, that every time you apply the law, the answer comes quickly. May it give you the full consciousness of your victory in the light now. I thank you.